with the leaking of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, a potential remaster coming. Obviously, we kind of knew about a remaster because of the rumor mill and things like that. Apparently now some actual game details have actually been leaked from the studio that is making the remaster. Basically, Virtuous Studios is the source for some of these leaks. And I wasn't really going to make a video about the leaks, but then I sat down and thought to myself, hold on. Since Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, we've had Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, we've had Elder Scrolls Online, and we are yet to get a Elder Scrolls, whatever the next one is, basically. But the thing about Oblivion is that it came out in the late 2000s and was heralded as like the best game. But the thing is that depending on how you look at it, sometimes your first Bethesda game might be your favorite. Like, say for example, people would prefer 3. Sometimes some people might prefer New Vegas over Fallout 3, for example. But I don't think a lot of people are screaming for Fallout 4 to be a great Fallout game, or Fallout 76 as a matter of fact. So I feel like Elder Scrolls kind of falls in that same category. But I could be completely wrong about this because I haven't actually played Oblivion, though I might try that in the not too distant future, hinting at a future possible video that I might be making. But basically, leaked images have been released from Virtuous Games, seemingly confirming that Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster is in fact real, and the fact that it's being treated as a remaster, not a remake. And of course, as we already know, the gaming industry has kind of mistermed a lot of terms like remaster, remake. So at this point, it's really just a case of going along with whatever is going on. And apparently the title is going to be listed for PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5. And it may potentially be dropping the week of April 21st, 2025. Now, the interesting thing about this is that apparently Xbox are wanting to shadow drop this game, and that's where I find myself in a difficult position thinking about it from that perspective. Because ordinarily, when it comes to games that are not that well known or are creating a new franchise, normally shadow drops help those games if the trailer is impactful, it hits all the right notes, and does all that other good stuff. But the problem is that Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion isn't that. What I mean by that is, if we look at, say, something like Hi-Fi Rush, the art style was like immediately like, ooh, that looks cool. The gameplay looked cool and playful. The art style was quite colorful, actually. The rhythmic style gameplay of an action title also felt like it hit in the right spot. So for it to be shadow dropped on the day made sense, because it was an incredibly impactful trailer that attracted a lot of people's attention and spread really positively through not just word of mouth, but also reviewing incredibly well at the same time. But it's also a brand new IP and a type of game that hasn't really existed before. But the thing is that when you're looking at something like Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, I think you are better off announcing a release date and then waiting for that time to pass, because word of it will almost certainly spread through word of mouth faster than it would, say for example, if you were to shadow drop the game. Because like I said, when you want to shadow drop a game, ideally it's because that franchise is relatively unknown, or you don't really have that much confidence in the title. But the thing is that when it comes to what I've heard about Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, people absolutely love this game, and I'm pretty damn sure that the people who love the game are absolutely going to buy it. In fact, it seems now more than ever before that people are making their voices heard regarding all of these leaks and rumors. And keeping in mind, none of anything that I'm saying right now in regards to this Oblivion remaster have ever been officially announced. Everything is purely just part of the rumor mill. So currently, none of this is actually concrete in any way, shape, or form. We're just seeing leaks and we're commenting on them. As of right now, nothing official has yet been confirmed, and I need to make that absolutely clear and upfront right now. So with all that being said though, there are also apparently going to be some gameplay tweaks. I was about to say tweaks. Yeah, anyway. again, just reiterating, Bethesda has not confirmed anything about the long-rumored Remastered, but fans have been all but sure of its eventual release for a while. So yeah, I think, like I said, I do believe that a shadow drop would probably hurt this game rather than help it, but hey, let's just see how things kind of go from here. So basically, these are the leaked images right here that were actually tweeted out before. So this is, I assume, what the web page is going to look like. We've got, like, you know, the menu and stuff, but they've got, you know, the logo behind a soldier. And again, the only reason why we know this is called Remastered is because it's quite literally in the title, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. But also, it does look like a fairly decent overhaul to the visuals has been done. Of course, you can see the logo for Skyrim right here in the middle of this grate. But also, it does look a lot sharper, and keeping in mind that we're comparing the visuals of a remaster that's going to be coming out apparently in the next week or so, we're comparing that to basically a game that came out in either 2007, 2008-ish, so to speak. In fact, I don't know if this game even got a PS3 release. I know it was on 360 and it was huge, but PS3 I'm not too sure about, because it certainly didn't have trophies, that's for sure. And so we can see, like, you know, a bridge, drawbridge, and not a drawbridge, it's just a normal bridge anyways. A little tower at the end, and we've got some goblins, it looks like. But yeah, apparently there's also going to be a deluxe edition, and what I find absolutely fascinating about the deluxe edition is that the special bonuses that may be in there is that there's a possibility that we might get stuff like horse armor as part of that deluxe edition, which is a interesting point to mention, because the reason why I specifically make mention of it is that everything we look at from a microtransaction point of view regarding what's happening with games right now, the fact that people have to pay additional money for things, it's interesting to look at all of that and think to ourselves that, man, like, all of this having to pay additional money for additional things within games that are constantly being shoved down our throats all the time, and with the advent of free-to-play games and allowing whales to exist, whether it be battle passes, season passes, microtransactions, DLC expansions, skins, loot boxes, all started potentially from Oblivion horse armor back in the day. So whether you like it or not, this game is somewhat emblematic of everything that we should despise and revile about gaming as a whole. So it leaves a very poor taste in the mouth to include horse armor DLC as part of a deluxe edition for a game where, when it originally pulled such a stunt, it just, I don't actually remember how it went, because the thing is, I've been around gaming, but I haven't been, you know, paying attention to gaming news as much probably until around 2010, 2011. That's probably when I really started looking at gaming news, because I was still in high school during that time. So it's just interesting to see. But with all of that being said, however, that's kind of a lot to talk about when it comes to the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster, which is all but confirmed at this point. So we'll have to wait and see how things go. But I am interested to hear what your thoughts are about this, especially if you've played Oblivion. I'd be interested to hear your opinions about this, because whether or not you're excited for it, I'm kind of tackling things around the actual existence or content within the game, because I personally haven't played it. But hey, if it does drop tomorrow, I would most likely end up getting it, as long as it's reasonably priced, or I'd wait for a sale. But with all that being said, however, let me know again, like I said, what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Watching till the end of the video, very much appreciate that, because that certainly helps the channel and is the easiest and best way to do it. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year, and with all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.